think we're live, right? Should be live
Yes,
because I'm seeing us on the screen. Awesome.
yeah,
Welcome, everybody. Please come in, share the video, share the broadcast, tag somebody, share the broadcast on your timelines, on your pages, on your groups. We are about to start. I believe we are live. I'm just checking my screens to make sure that there are people. I know Facebook has changed quite a few things today, but I know that we'll find a way. Okay. I'm actually echoing. I think I need to. Okay, so no, I needed to fix that. I was wondering where the second sound was coming from. Thank you so much, everybody who's joining the video. Thank you for all those who will be watching it on replay. Thank you those who are coming in on time. We're going to start any minute now. I just want to monitor what's happening. Welcome, welcome. Please, as you come in on the comments, do share where you are tuning in from, and just share your name and where you're tuning in from. We're excited to have you as our guest this evening. Thank you so much, everybody who's joining the video. Thank you for all those who will be watching it on replay. Thank you those who are coming in on time. Okay, Apostle, are you ready for us?
very much
Awesome.
ready. Very much
Amen.
ready.
Amen. Thank you so much. Those of you who are joining for the first time, my name is Fortune Lehwabe. I am Fortune L online on all the social media handles, Instagram, Periscope, as well as Facebook. I do have also another page called fortune.lehwabe, which I believe you are viewing me from, and I believe that you are sharing onto the City of Dynamite page, and you are sharing on your personal timelines so that we can get more people into this discussion today. Today is going to be very hot. We are discussing biggest mistakes at the beginning of marriage. We're going to be discussing the legal regimes in South Africa, and we are going to touch a little bit on the legal regime in West Africa and other countries, hopefully. And you are welcome to send in your questions already on the comment sheet. And we will be taking questions at the end. So how the program is going to go, Apostle AC Jason is going to touch on the biblical aspects, the social aspects, and and bring us the wisdom that he has managed to gather throughout the years. Obviously, through him being a man of God and pastoring, you know that typically before people get married, people do go for premarital counseling. And one gap that we have seen actually is that also people need to go for premarital legal counseling, and which is a gap that people don't often really pay attention to. And it's quite sad when you get to the point where things are not really going well, and then people suddenly realize that there are legal issues to really consider. My name, as I said, is Fortune Lehwabe. I am a life coach. I am a pastor. I'm a minister of God. I love God so much. And the reason why I do these shows and these discussions around relationships and marriage is because I have seen that the sanctity of marriage and marriage needs to be preserved. And, when you deal with so many divorces in your normal career life, you see that we are slowly disintegrating and we are moving away from what God intended marriage to be. And hopefully today you will learn something, and you will be equipped not only biblically, but also legally and socially, and on all the things that you need to consider. So thank you very much for joining us. I'm also a business and leadership coach with the John Maxwell Foundation. I'm a member of the John Maxwell team. So if you need any business or legal or life coaching, you're welcome to inbox me. Thank you so much. The number to call today when we get to that part, don't call until we get to the Q&A section, is going to be 081-574-7274. I repeat again, it's 081-574-7274. We are discussing biggest mistakes at the beginning of marriage, what you need to consider before you go into marriage. Over to you, Apostle.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much, woman of God. Pastor Fortune Lehwabe. Appreciate you and what you are doing to help, families and those in relationship and those that are intending to get into one anytime soon. I really appreciate. Greetings to all the viewers, friends, families, Dynamite, and every one of you. I see a lot of you greeting us. Thank you. We greet you back. We appreciate you. We celebrate you. Please do share this broadcast quickly on your page, on your timeline. Host a watch party right now. And if you could tag somebody that you know that should be listening to this broadcast right now, so that they will know we are live. People are prone to forget, so just tag somebody, tag a friend, tag a family member, tag a couple, tag your fiance, tag your boyfriend, tag your girlfriend, whoever they are, that you think you could tag right now. Please tag them and let everybody, get to know that Apostle A.C. Jason is live with Pastor Fortune Legwabe, and it's going to be a sweet ride. I believe God, seriously, for the want of time, we're really going to push, to see what we're going to be able to cover for us tonight so that you'll be empowered. Like I said, I appreciate you, Pastor Fortune. She's been a friend for years, for decades, and nothing much have changed. I was just teasing her earlier on, nothing much have changed. She's still looking that innocent and pretty as she has always looked, or been, whichever way. Hallelujah. All right, praise God, praise God, praise God. I'm excited to be in your space, this evening, or this night. Is already getting into night. We're looking at the biggest mistakes, or the mistakes, at the beginning of marriage, or while you are in a relationship, or courting, or dating, to get married, while you are preparing for marriage, and the biggest mistake, or the mistakes we make while we are already married in our marital, relationships. That's what we're looking at, this moment. I want to start by saying to us that there is absolutely nothing anyone can do to 100% avoid mistakes in life, whether in marriage, relationship, business, career. There is absolutely nothing. As a matter of fact, mistakes are part of, growing or becoming a better person, in our different fields of endeavors. So the essence of this is not to condemn you. The essence of this is not to blackmail you. The essence of this is not to make you look bad, like you stupid. No, that is not the reason for this. That's why we also have Bible, we have Quran, we have a lot of lecture books and manuals, so that we could study and learn from others, learn from other people, see what they have done, see what make them better and what made them worse. That is the essence of this, I believe. And take note of this, that some mistakes are uniquely made for you. In as much as we're going to be talking, not everything might be very direct to you, but when you listen to that, you can divert the talk to where it concerns you, to where it affects you. You can, from the simile of what we say, be able to pick up wisdom or direction in order to help yourself. Bible says that wisdom is profitable to direct. And that's what we're trying to do here, this evening. Wisdom is profitable to direct. God bless all of you. Connect. I see my daughters from the US, Pearl, and the rest of you. I see all of you. Thank you for greeting. Get everybody connected. Get everybody connected. I see those of you in Pretoria, South Africa. Nigeria is also connected. I've not seen some people. So please do tag everyone, to get on board right now, because we're already on the broadcast. So as I was saying, the tragedy of mistake is in repeating the mistakes by not erasing them, or by not learning from them, or learning from teachings or broadcasts such as this. He said the tragedy is not that you made a mistake yesterday. We are not here trying to condemn your action or your art of yesterday, which is tagged, unquote, mistake, or the biggest mistakes, at the beginning of marriage relationship or in the middle of relationship. Now, but we are here now to open us up, into the wisdom so that we'll be able to gain insight on how to go about some certain things when it refers to relationship. When it refers to relationship, we need just to get insight on how to go about these things. Now, God bless you, Rick. Good. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. All right. Now, I said that the tragedy is in us repeating the same mistakes, by not erasing it or learning from them. It becomes a tragedy when one mistake is being repeated again and again and again and again, by one person or by one family or by one individual. You go from one relationship to another relationship, and the same thing is going on again and again. Now, if it's in the church forum, we are going to subject you to deliverance. We're going to say you got some demons in you. We're going to say you got some demons. I always have a big question. In the Bible speaking about a certain family that the elders, son of the house, took a wife and he died without an issue, without a child. The second brother took the same woman and died without a child. The third brother took the same woman, died without a child. The fourth brother took the same woman, died without a child. The fifth brother took the same, until the seventh of them took the same woman, died without a child, and the woman died also. There are some phrases you find in the Bible that is very, very funny. The woman died also. So she waited to wipe off or to wipe out these seven brothers, whole family wiped off before she could die. Something is wrong somewhere. It means that the third brother, the fourth brother, the fifth brother, the sixth brother, the seventh brother didn't pay attention to some details. I hope you're hearing me. They didn't pay attention to some details, despite what the culture entails or demands that they do. But it didn't pay attention to some details that would have saved them from dying. So the essence of this is that you watching us this evening should pay attention to some tiny details. It might not be the most bogus word, biggest vocabulary. It might not be those deep stuff that we might say, but there might be some little nitty-gritties that might be dropping from our discussion, and that's all you need to help you, avoid, overcome, erase the mistakes at the beginning of marriage or relationship, or whilst you are already married. I like to define things whenever I am given opportunity to share like this. Now, the first question that came to mind when I saw the theme of this meeting, it was, what is a mistake? What is a mistake? Because if you don't understand what is a mistake, you might not understand what we are trying to talk about or where we are driving to. And we don't have the whole night for this. What is a mistake? What is a mistake? Number one, a mistake is a doing out of ignorance. Take note of that. Number one, a mistake is a doing out of ignorance. It's what we do out of ignorance, unknowingly to ourselves. Number two, we don't have the whole time. So if you're writing, write it down. Dynamite knows that when I talk like this, they got to write it down, they got to note it down. Number two, a mistake is an accidental occurrence. A mistake is an accidental occurrence, something that happened by accident. It's not a premeditated something. It's not something you wish or wanted to see happen, but accidentally it happened. That's a mistake. It's an accidental occurrence, is a doing out of ignorance. Number three, a mistake is a wrong act without the intention of hurting someone. A mistake is a wrong act. You acted on it. It's your action. You did it. As a matter of fact, you did it. Yes, you did it. There is no denial. You did it. I did it. But the point here is, what makes it a mistake is that the intention is not to hurt any person. So it is out of innocence. It is out of innocence, so it is not with the intention to hurt somebody. Just like when a child plugs off, something that is connected to power, maybe your phone or whatever, he doesn't know what's going to be the repercussion of what he or she is doing. So there is no intention of hurting somebody. So such is called a mistake. Number 4, a mistake is a picture of one's inability to handle a project, duty, or an assignment. I repeat myself again. Number 4, a mistake is a picture of someone's inability to handle a project, duty, or assignment. So you see, when you now say this is a mistake, we are seeing something. You are showing us a picture. There is something in view that we are seeing that is done. And that picture is a revelation of my or your inability to handle something. It could be a project, it could be a duty post where you have been given an assignment. We come into marriage, it is going to tie up together very soon, because marriage is a project, it's a duty, it's an assignment. So it's one's inability to handle a project, duty, or as an assignment. Number 5 and last in my definition of what is a mistake is a misguided step of an inexperienced person on a given path. A misguided step. Like I said in the beginning, that's why we are doing this tonight, because we want to restructure, our steps, or recall our step from the wrong path. It's a misguided step. It means that somebody has been misguided, maybe because of where you're coming from, what you've been through, what you are told, what you see, what you watch on television, on social media, what you read on newspaper, your experience growing up at school, in the place of work. So there is possibility of being misguided. There is possibility of being misguided. Let me say this to us, that mistakes is a revelation of disabilities. Mistake reveals your disability or my disability. That's why I said in one of the points, inability. But listen to me, your disability is not meant to stop your possibility.
Glory.
I don't know if you're hearing me. Your disability is not meant to stop your possibility. That's why I said, we're not here to blackmail you. We're not here to condemn you. We're not here to call you a fool or a stupid, but we're here to show you the way. Bible speaking said, the labor of a fool wearieth them all, because he knoweth not the way to the city. He does not know how to get to the city. So we are here now to point you to the direction. We are here as a signboard, as a signpost, as a GPS, a navigator. Mistakes are deformities. Deformities. That's why people want to condemn us for our mistakes. People want to blackmail us for our mistakes. People want to take advantage of us because of our mistake. That's why I say it's a deformity. But listen to me, your deformity is not permitted to stop your possibility. Your possibility. I feel like preaching right now. Somebody declare,
preach, man of God, preach.
Somebody declare, I am possible. I am possible.
I am possible. I am possible.
It doesn't matter what you've experienced. It doesn't matter what you've gone through. You are still possible. Despite the deformities. If I start preaching on this, it's going to take us away from marriage. I'm going to tell you, people that have suffered deformity, yet they became possible in their generation. They became possible in their time and day. And I stand as a man of God. I want to declare, it doesn't matter what your mistakes are, you are possible. Your survival is possible. Your breakthrough is possible. Your bouncing back board is possible. Your good news, your good report is possible. You making it your celebration is possible. If you believe that, come on, declare it 3 times. Everybody, if you are watching us here, declare it 3 times. I am possible. Number 2, I am possible. Number 3, I am
am possible.
You know what I'm doing right now is connecting to what I'm preaching tomorrow in church about declaring the word, confessing, the word. So you got better declare it that you are possible 3 times, and I tell you that God's going to make it possible for you. Now listen to me. Write this down if you will. Your ability is revealed in your responsibility. Your ability is revealed in your responsibility. Now, having said that, you got to understand that marriage is not a joke, but a responsibility. Marriage is not a joke. That's why it's not for boys and girls. It's not for children. It's a man and a woman. It's for ladies and gentlemen. Your ability is revealed in your responsibility. So if I want to know what you can handle, what you are able to do, I give you responsibility. You see, that's exactly what God did in Genesis, in the Garden of Eden. He really wants to see that there is a capacity in man such as it should be. And he decided, remember, man did not ask God for a wife or for a woman. God said, no, it's not good for the man to be alone. Let me give him a responsibility, somebody to care for, somebody to look after, somebody, to be mindful of, somebody that can be there with him and for him as a companion. So God wanted his ability to be revealed. And as you know, with marriage, husband and wife coming together, there comes children. So the ability, the responsibility keep expanding, keep growing into a larger scope. So God was testing the ability of the creature he has made, called man. So you can talk about marriage without talking about man. All right. I don't know where to start with. Let's look at number 1. Let's look at this first. Before marriage, the mistakes. Before marriage, we don't have all the time, so I say, we're going to run this, just get the point. Before marriage, what are the mistakes that we need to avoid, that we need to be careful of, that we need to make sure we put ourselves in check? Let me say this to us. Unfortunately, a lot of people rush into marriage unprepared. But if there is something that someone needs to be prepared for in life, marriage is one of those. It's one of it. Because it's meant to be a long lifetime contract. You see, that's the passion that Pastor Fortune had in her spirit. She told me, I'm sick and tired of seeing homes break. I'm tired of seeing this separation, this fighting. This is meant to be like forever, till death do us part. So marriage is something that we don't need to rush into. We need to prepare very well. My number 1 point is this: marriage is not a fulfillment of life. This is where some people get it wrong, and that's why we are rushing. I want to get married. If it's in church, amen, I collect, I confuse, because you just want to get married. Because somehow, like I spoke about being misguided. You think or believe that getting married means you are going to be fulfilled in life. It's not the fulfillment of life. Getting married, both to the man and to the woman, that is not the fulfillment of life. Any person saying that to you possibly is lying, except they have to explain themselves. It's not. Now, why did I say that? Marriage is a start of a new journey of life, a different path, a different journey. It's a start of the journey, not the fulfillment. It's a start of a journey, a new journey, a fresh journey, not the fulfillment. Because many people want to escape their mother's house, many people want to escape their father's house, thinking that as soon as I step into somebody's arms, I am fulfilled. And when they get there, they are more frustrated than they were in their father's or mother's house. It's a start of a new journey of life. It's not the fulfillment. In other words, it's not the end, it's not the completion, it's not the predestination. Getting married is not that predestination Bible is speaking in Romans. No, it's the start of a new life. The journey just began. A journey just began. I want you to understand that. A journey just began. And that's why you should be very careful not to make some sudden mistakes before you say, I do. Before you say, I do. This has been my policy, and I'm going to say it. Before you get married, don't make the mistake of choosing by version. Choose by vision.
Say that again, man of God.
Don't make the mistake of choosing by version. Version. Choose by vision, not by version. By vision. Because you are about to get into a new start of life, another journey of life. Now, what you need to get yourself into is into a vision, not a version, because versions expires. Versions get outdated. Versions are, what are the technical language they use? You need to update, renew the software. Those are version, Windows 16, 17, 18. They need to be updated, and some get outdated. Now, many people are going by the version. He's driving this kind of a car. That car in the next 12 months might not be relevant, might not be the happening car in the city. And if that is the reason why you are getting married, hey, please make a U-turn right now. Make a U-turn right now. Some people will look at him and say, oh, he got too much hair. Now, this hair on my hair is a version in my life. A time is coming, it will no longer stand. It will no longer, I started growing the hair, for a reason. It's not funny or mockery, but I said most of my brothers at my age, they already have bald hair. They are losing their hair. I say, wow, let me enjoy something right now that God gave me. I used to have a low cut brush, but I said, no, let me grow it. That my Baba said, man, the texture of your hair is something else. In my heart, I will say it is a fashion. It's a fashion. If that is what will make you to follow me, one of the days coming, the hairs might be falling off. So you don't follow because of something that falls off. That's going to fall off in a short while. It could fall off. So please choose by vision and not by version. Number 2, plan for the marriage, not for the wedding. There are some single girls, all they are after is checking all the sides where there are wedding gowns, where there are decorations, and that's all they are after. But they don't care about the hurdles in marriage. They don't care. They don't know about that preparation. That's why even some of them will find it difficult to connect to this broadcast, to spend their data to listen to this. They rather be watching what is the housewife something on television than to listen to this. They rather be into that fantasy of housewife, whatever they call it. I can't remember all those names. I hardly work, but I hear those things. Please plan for the marriage, not the wedding. The wedding is an event. The marriage is a lifelong term project, a lifelong term assignment, a lifelong time duty. That's why a lot of people run out of it, because they discover we can't carry on, we can't fulfill this. I got to move a little bit faster, because of time. Number three, don't make this mistake before marriage. Listen to me. Ask questions until there is nothing to ask, even stupid questions. Ask questions until there is nothing to ask, even stupid questions. I had my brother say this also last week in his own words, Pastor Joshua. Now, stupid question. Take note of this. Listen to this. And I have asked these questions on counseling before. Ask this guy, when last were you home? When last did you visit your parents? How often did you visit? That's how you know whether they will be coming home from work, or where from work they will divert to somewhere else. Ask questions, even the ones that does not make sense. I have seen ladies married to people, or they are dating somebody for years. They don't know where the person is coming from. They don't know your relative, how you grew up, nothing about you. You just ask them, okay, how much do you know? He's a businessman. What business do you do? I don't know. He's a businessman. Excuse me. I think you are setting yourself up, not somebody else. Ask questions until there is nothing to ask. And both of us must be comfortable in answering those questions. Until, why are you growing your hair? Why do you have a mustache? Why this? Ask questions until there is nothing to ask. Number four, I don't have time. Be honest and open before saying, yes, I do. Be honest and open. Now, this is also a very big problem we have been seeing. When you are not honest before marriage, in that marriage, the truth will open up. It will be staring before you. Be honest and open before saying I do. Tell them everything about you that you know, that you can remember. If you have been raped, you are going into marriage, tell them I've been raped. If your womb is out, tell them my womb is out. If you have had 10 miscarriages as a single lady, tell him I have had miscarriages or abortion. Whatever it is, be honest and open. Things have its way of coming back to us unexpectedly. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you, you don't want to handle them there. Be honest. Keeping that secret can result in a resentful, long relationship. I repeat again. Keeping that secret can result in a resentful long relationship. It will make your relationship so boring, and you'll be asked, what have I done? What have I done? What have I done? What have I done? Each party must know what they are getting into. I must know everything, and if I'm going to carry you, I decide to carry. If I'm not going to carry you, I let go of you. Now, you see, what I'm saying to you, these things are biblical. If you go to Genesis 29, those I'm avoiding reading scriptures because of time. If you go to Genesis 29, you will discover that the secret of Jacob's hatred on Leah is the secret of his father bringing her by night. And when she came in the dark, she never said, I am Leah. She pretended to be Rachel. She never declared that she is Leah. She never said, I have a problem with one of my eyes. I can't see well. But she spent the night with Jacob, had the luxury, did everything, all right, did everything, thank you, did everything that they did together. In fact, if you read it on the New English Translation, the Bible says that Jacob had a marital relationship with Leah that night. That means he slept with her with the notion that this is my beautiful wife. This is the woman I labored for 7 years. And this woman knew the plan of the father against Rachel, but she was never open. How I wish this woman went in there and said, Jacob, listen to me. I love you. Jacob, I'm not Rachel, but according to our traditional culture, this is the reason why my father sent me. But I don't want to deceive you. If you want me, accept me. I want to be honest to you. If you don't want me, let's go back to my father and find a way to fix this matter. Or you could wait until I get married. Then you can marry my younger sister, Rachel. But she never did. And she planned this thing with the father. That's what the Bible says, Genesis 29. She planned this thing with the father. So in the morning, when Jacob discovered it was not Rachel, he was mad. Be honest. Be open. Be honest. Be open. He was mad. And Bible used a phrase, Jacob hated Leah, not Laban. Jacob did not hate the father, but he hated the girl. Take note of that. He hated the guy. The guy knows the truth. He knows the person that Jacob came to marry in Laban's house. Let's move. Number 5. Let's move. Number 5. Don't marry because of a better life. Don't pursue that guy. Don't pursue that lady just because of a better life. Yes, marriage should bring you a better life, a good life. Don't. As I'm talking, you will understand me better. Many people, that's why you are married to money. You are married to a car. You are married to his influence, name and affluence. And you are not married to the person. Not because of a better life. Not because you want to escape poverty. Marriage is not antidote for poverty, for bad life. It's not the antidote. Don't marry for the sake of just a better life. That means, what I'm trying to say in essence, don't marry somebody you can't love. Don't marry somebody you cannot respect. Don't marry somebody you cannot submit to his or her vision. You are just there because there is money. You are just there because there is something to eat. You are just there because there is a car to drive. You are going to prove a point to your schoolmate that you are not actually a loser in life. You might end up being a loser. You might end up committing suicide when you are in that marriage. It's a big mistake. It's a big mistake. It's a big mistake. Let me say this to you. Don't marry sugar mommy and sugar daddy. Give the sugar to the babies. Did you hear what I just said now? Yeah. Don't marry sugar mommy and sugar daddies. Let the babies have the sugar. You see, those that are pursuing sugar mommy, sugar daddy, they are babies. They are the ones looking for the sugar. You know, men and women are not looking for sugar. We look for honey. We're not looking for sugar. Sugar has a whole lot of repercussion to your body. We look for honey. That's what we look for, not sugar. So when you're chasing after sugar daddy, sugar mommy, oh my God, you are still a baby. You are not qualified for marriage. Don't marry. Don't run after sugar mommies and sugar daddies. All right. Number 6. I'm going to say this. Number 6. Don't seek to be loved because of what you brought into the relationship, or what you are bringing into the relationship. If that is the reason why you are being loved, what happens when that thing disappears? What happens when that thing is no more there? Don't seek, don't solicit. Just listen, you'll understand. If you don't solicit to be loved. In other words, don't entice a man or a woman. Don't entice your partner to marry you, because, okay, my father is so and so, or I have this connection and contact. I'm going to bring in this or bring in that into this marriage. Bible says concerning Adam and Eve, it said both of them were naked. Both of them were naked. That word naked can be interpreted in 1,000,001 ways. In other words, they came empty. There was nothing they were bringing. There was nothing in their hands. There was nothing to use to entice the other person rather than themselves as beings. They brought nothing. Eve brought nothing. Adam didn't show Eve anything. They accept themselves the way they were. I don't know if somebody is following me here. If you're following, say I follow. Just say I follow. Just say I follow.
I am following.
Follow. Yeah, both of them were naked. So they brought nothing. So don't seek to be loved because of what you're bringing into the relationship. Now, in that same, look at this. In that same Genesis 29, precisely in verse number 32, I believe. Verse number 32, I believe. Bible said that because Leah was hated, God opened her womb. She conceived and she gave birth to a son. She gave birth to a son. And when she gave birth to that boy, she said, since I have given birth to a boy, now my husband will love me. Because I brought a son. He is going to love me now. Excuse me there. Jacob hated her the more. The hatred increased. The baby did not change anything. Don't seek to be loved because of what he's going to bring. she was hated the more. She was hated the more. She had the second son, Reuben. She had the second son say, oh, of a shorty, this is a done deal now. He cannot deny me anymore. Excuse me. There are 1,000,001 ways of making babies. Leah, without you, Jacob can still be a father. Be warned. I don't know who is listening to me here now. Without you, Jacob can still be a father. Without you, Jacob can still drive a car. Without you, Jacob can still have a shelter. Without you, Jacob can still wear some clothes. Without you, Jacob can still shave. Without you, Jacob can still go overseas. There are 1,000,001 ways of doing that. You see, I've, woman of God, I've seen some ladies, excuse my language, but foolishly, waste their earning on a man and saying with this, like they want to buy the love, they want to tie him with the love, and they cannot see that, okay, this one is not really into me. If what I'm doing has to end now, what is the future of this relationship? But they're still doing it. Some are in church, some are believers, and they are claiming it by faith. That is not the interpretation of faith. God perhaps might be disappointed and say, this is my daughter, or this is my son. What are you doing? What are you doing? What is going on with you? Okay, number 7. Now, these are, I will stop at number 7 on the mistakes before, and I will get into during marriage. Number 7, take note of this. Cohabitation without legal and family consent is a devaluation. Cohabitation without a legal and family consent is a devaluation. You have devalued yourself. Now, when we talk about cohabitation, in time past, it's women that normally join men, but these days men are joining women in a search or in the pursuit of a greener pasture, a better life. Cohabitation without a legal or family consent is devaluation. You have devalued yourself. You have devalued yourself. Listen, it takes nothing to get married if you are a soulmate or match made in heaven, or you have met all the criteria that you require. It takes nothing. It takes nothing for somebody who loves you to marry you. It takes nothing. I'm going to say it again. All the postponement is a sign to tell you to watch out. It takes nothing for somebody who loves you to marry you. In fact, can I tell you us the honest truth, here tonight, that most, on a higher percentage, when a man sights a lady for the first time, on a higher percentage, they knew, I'm going to marry this girl. I'm going to spend the rest of my life with this girl. They knew. So they are not, the courtship is just a matter of introducing to family and doing one or two other things. They knew. And when a man is actually ready to marry, hey, courtship is a delay for him. Courtship is a delay for him, just wasting time, wasting your age, wasting your resources, wasting this and that. It takes nothing. If you are in church, if you are a Christian, go to your pastor, bring a consent from your family. I'm gonna ask Pastor Fortune some questions tonight myself, from here. Bring a consent from your family and take your woman to your pastor. Bless us. Bless us. That's all. Declare this. Bless us. When that happens, there are other things. You can now be planning for other things, the legal aspects, signing at the court or home affairs, what we call Lobola here, the dowry or the bride price or the white wedding or celebration. It takes nothing. There is no need of messing yourself up in the name of courtship. And you know that this courtship will soon cut the cord will soon be cut. The cord will soon be cut. That's the courtship you're talking about. The cord will soon be cut. All right, during marriage, I've said to us earlier on that marriage is not a fulfillment of life. Do not forget that. You just started a new journey of life. Now, number one thing I want to say to you during marriage is this, and this is a mistake a lot of people have made and they keep returning to the counseling office. Don't relax in marriage. Don't relax. Don't relax. Don't relax. You see, the problem is that you went into marriage with the mentality that when you get married, you are fulfilled. So when you get there, you relaxed. You took things for granted, and it backfires on your face just in a matter of time. Don't relax. In marriage, work your marriage. Work your marriage. Work your marriage. Work it out. Work it out. Don't relax. And God, I'm going to say this to us on this point. No man, no woman can fulfill you as an individual. No man, no woman can fulfill you. No sex, no alcohol can fulfill you. No romantic vacation, no holiday can fulfill you. All of these are good. They are all good. How do I know they can fulfill you? After you've done one, after you've gone for one vacation, you want to do another one in the next 2 months, in the next 3 months. So there is no fulfillment in it. Anything you keep looking for, you don't get enough of it. Work it out. Work it. Don't relax. Don't fold your hands. Still be a slave queen in that marriage. Still be a slave queen in that marriage. Yeah. Yeah, and most women, let me talk to women now. Most women makes this blunder, especially when they have the first baby. The baby becomes the subject of the house. They forget about the man. They forget. It's like it does not exist. They dress anyhow. They don't take care of themselves. They can't fix their hair. They can't smell good at night. You know, it's all about the baby. The man is smelling the breast milk and all of that. Excuse me, that's not necessary. That's not necessary. Let me say this to you. Man has this nature of looking out for something good always. 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 So rewrap yourself. Repackage yourself in marriage. Don't relax. Work it out. Work it out. Number two. Don't enter marriage as a full glass of water. Just write it down, I will explain. Don't enter marriage as a full glass of water. I'm going to say this has been one of the biggest mistakes I've encountered in counseling and talking to people. You see, when you decide to marry, you must not ask that question again in marriage. Do you know who I am? You are no more who you used to be. Did you hear me well? Do you know who I am? You are no more who you used to be. You are no more. You are no more. Some of us, before we got married, there are things we say that can never happen. Can never happen in my house. Can never happen with my children. Can never happen with my wife. But those have become the norm, the daily happenings. Now, when I say, listen to this illustration, okay, I've got just a few more minutes and we're going to wrap it up. Good. Listen to this illustration. In marriage, God gave me this over 25 years ago. Over 25 years ago, I started talking on this to couples. Even while I was not married, I received this as a revelation just in my spirit. While I'm worried, like Pastor Fortune, why is always problem. Now listen to it. Now God gave me an illustration. It's like a trance. It was like a vision. When I said, don't enter marriage as a full glass of water. Come half empty. I didn't finish the statement. Come half empty or enter half empty, not a full glass. Now, I saw a vision as it was being shown to me. I saw one big empty glass of water, but empty. Then I saw two other average size, a glass of water filled with water, full of water. Now, as they are taking me through the process, now what happened is that they reduce each of the glasses that contain water. They reduce them to half. Each of the glasses became a half glass of water. Now, when it became a half glass of water, they carried each of those half empty glasses of water, poured into the empty glass of water. Two of the waters from those two glasses were poured into the empty glass, and the empty glass became filled up almost to the brim of that glass. Now, these other glasses remain empty. One glass is now full. And that is marriage. That is how to come. And I was told this is how to come into marital relationship. Don't come with all the, you know who I am, you know what I do, you know my title, you know my ego, you know my pride, you know the time I sleep. You know, this is like a sacrifice. There are things you must let go in order to build something new. When you are going to marriage, you are building something new. You are building something new. So there are things you must let go. That's why they shortened the glasses of water into half. And they poured it into an empty glass. And we had one full glass of water. Building something new. That's marriage. That's why I say to you, marriage is not a fulfillment of life. It's a start of a new journey of life. Building something new. So you see, we clash always when you come as a full glass of water. I come as a full glass of water. That we can't pour ourselves. We splash away. We pour away. You know, we lose ourselves. We scream and yell at each other unnecessarily. But willingly by yourself, if you reduce your glass, I reduce my glass, we can build one thing together. Willingly, not by force. By force, if we take the two glass, pour it into one, it will splash away. We're going to lose them. But willingly, you can reduce your glass. I reduce my glass. That's where your professionalism, you know, has to come down to meet me in my amateur. To meet me in my amateur. You know, that's when you will now remember that you are a professional, but you married a village boy. You know, so this village boy must be accommodated, you know, in my professionalism. So, and I must also take, you know, a rub off of his amateur. Let me say something, Pastor Fortune. I think Dr. Mauer or something, if I pronounce them correctly, say something that you questioned him last week. You know, and I am of that opinion, but I'm not making it, I'm not saying it's a standard. You know, he says something, he said, imagine a plumber getting married to a doctor. You ask the question, anything wrong with that? You know, immediately I felt like I was live to answer that question. You know, nothing is wrong with it, woman of God, but from my little experience, very little experience, they're going to live a very complicated life. I'm telling you. Now, look at this, Pastor Fortune. The plumber knows what it means to wake up, be at the workshop by 8 a.m. and come back home by 5:30, 6 p.m. He's home. The doctor knows what it means, and the plumber knows also what it means. You sleep by night, you work by day. But the doctor does not. That's not the doctor's routine. That's not the doctor's routine. The doctor might be sleeping the whole day and by night he's off. He's off to go work. And if you look at that, they'll be having clashes. I know what I have seen. I know what I'm saying, and I don't want to talk some certain things right now. I remember a story. I don't know how true it is, you know, but they said this lady is a pastor. The husband is a police officer. And they came to church on a Sunday morning. She preached and made an altar call. And this wanted criminal lifted his hand, coming in front of the altar, surrendering. The husband of the lady pastor stood behind this guy with his handcuff, called for a backup, say wanted criminal is here. And the woman is saying, no, he's born again. He's no more the criminal. And like a joke, they handcuffed the guy from church. From church. You know, now nothing is against that if it's going to work, but you see, vision is very important. And I will touch it in a bit again here. So please come half empty. When you're entering a marriage, come half empty. Don't carry all those, your principles. Create another one. There must be a family principle. There must be a family standard, a family lifestyle. Don't just take everything your mama gave you from your mother's house, your papa gave you from your father's house, and carry everything just like that. It's going to clash. It's going to clash. We have cultural differences. All right, my time is honestly ticking here, if not exhausted. Now, number four, don't fight your marriage, fight for your marriage. Don't be married in that marital relationship. You are fighting the marriage. Some people don't know the difference. Some people don't understand the difference. You are fighting the marriage. And when this woman leaves you, you come to church, pastor must pray, she must come back, God must touch her heart. You fought her out of the house. You fought him out of the house. Now you're looking for all the friends that can talk to her, talk to him to return back. Don't fight your marriage. Fight for it. No matter what is going on in your marriage, fight for the marriage. Fight for the restoration, not for the separation. Fight for the restoration of peace. Fight for the restoration of love. Fight for the restoration of communication. Fight for the restoration of communion. Fight for the restoration of intimacy. Fight for it. Don't fight for the separation. Don't fight against it. Number 5, don't split in vision. Oh my God, we don't have the time now to go into details on this. Don't split in vision. Many people, when we get married, you say, no, that's your life, that's my life. You see, that's the problem again in marriage. That's your life, that's my life. That's why I go back to, I was talking about what Dr. Mawa said that day. It's because that's your life, that's my life. Let me do my thing, you do your thing. No! Remember the illustration I gave to you that was given to me in a vision? We are now building something. We might have different careers, we might have different jobs, we might have different, vocations or professions, but whatever you do should synchronize into the family vision in a matter of time. Whatever you do, whatever you pursue, shouldn't be drifting you guys apart. It should be bringing you closer together. Whatever career, whatever job you do should not be drifted. So don't split in vision. Whatever you do, we might have different careers, but we know that we have one vision. This career is going to bring us, last time I spoke about a triangle here. It's going to bring us back there. You're coming from this base, I'm coming from this base. We're going to meet up there. So, but let's not be up there together and we're not splitting to different bases. Higher percentage of couples that are successful in their marriage today, if you take the statistics or the study very well, you discover they ended up aligning their life, their programs, their vision into one thing. That's why somebody asked me the question sometimes, why do celebrities always divorce and break? I said, because they are in different worlds with their partners. They live in different worlds. Celebrities, yeah. They live in different worlds with their partners. Most of their partners are not singers, are not musicians, are not actors and actresses, are not into all those things that they do. They are not soccer players, so they don't understand those language. They don't understand the language. So don't split in vision. For the want of time, let me give you one more. Don't split in vision. Don't split in vision. Number 6, right? Let me give you that one more. Then I want Pastor Fortune to come in here. Number 6, don't allow your ex run your present. Don't allow your ex run your present while you're in marriage. Now, your ex is not necessarily your ex-boyfriend or girlfriend, but it's inclusive. Your ex experience, something that is in the past, should not run your present marriage, your relationship. The person you divorced some years ago, the person you dated that abused you, I saw on the media today, I don't know how true it is, a man that had been dead for a couple of years, but he's still winning contracts, tenders of millions, getting tenders of millions. We unknowingly empower shadows to influence and control our lives. Your S, the pain of yesterday is running your today's relationship. The abuse of your past marriage is running your present marriage. Not you anymore, not your husband, not your wife. Don't allow your ex run your present. It is an error. It is an error. It cannot work. What you went through in the hand of a cruel, is this almost finished Israel. They always wanted to look at God like Pharaoh, while it was God that delivered them from Pharaoh. They want to look at God like Pharaoh. You know, don't allow your ex run your present. It will ruin everything. If you are in this marriage now, please be in it. Let this marriage be run by its own culture, by its own tradition, by the love that is in this marriage, not by the hatred that was in the previous relationship. Don't allow your ex ruin or run your present. Thank you, Pastor Fortune, and my apology for taking more time. God bless you.
God bless you, sir. Thank you so much for such a... Where do I begin? I literally started a new notebook today, and I'm already halfway with all the things that you have really shared. I'm really grateful. I think the insights that you have shared, somebody said in the comments, this message belongs on Amazon, and I think we need to package it. And you were right, I think earlier in the day when we spoke, that we can't really finish everything today. There is so much just that flows from this topic that was chosen for today only. And we really probably need a second session and a third session. So I'm going to try as much as possible to go into the questions and to also tap into...
Unpin the comment before you talk about third and second and fourth session.
I'm telling you. Well, I must unpin the comment.
Yeah, let it flow now, since I'm getting questions now. Yeah.
All right. So you are taking note of the questions. Okay, somebody please, one of the admins in my group, please unpin the comment. I think Apostle wants to see the questions as they come in. I think it's a bit in his way. Let me just come back quickly to some of the questions. I think you touched on the subject of cohabitation earlier. Yes, and yes. Cohabitation is a very sad, it's actually a tragedy, because I've seen a lot of, especially when I deal with women, they find themselves in situations where they didn't plan properly, and a lot of complaints comes from, you know, I invested so much, I combined my finances, now he has let me go, or he has dumped me, and I don't know how to handle it. And I don't know if there's people that would want to flow from the cohabitation topic. Please put your questions and comments so that I can go deeper in that, because I did promise that I will be answering any legal question around cohabitation, whether or not cohabitation is actually recognized by the South African law. I don't know how it is in West Africa, but what we said with Apostle was that we're going to try as much as possible cover other jurisdictions, not only South Africa, but we realize that there's a need for people to know the repercussions of marriage and of necessity, as well as cohabitation, because it is something that is actually happening. Whether or not we want to wait for the ideal situation where we want to get married, the reality of the matter is that there are people who are cohabiting currently, and That's they right. need to know what are their legal rights. And obviously, you know, I think if we go into the biblical implications of that, that is another issue. That is a conversation for another day, which we can go on and on about. But my goal as well is to really equip those people who have chosen to go into cohabitation. And you can rest assured, I'm going to be pushing you to see Apostle Jason for some, you know, for a date, so that we can get you guys married and you do it legally, and so that your rights are protected.
Office number 012-3040-121.
Did you hear that? Please repeat that again. Please, Apostle George, please, George, please write it on the comments as well. If you need premarital counseling with Apostle Jason, make sure that you call and make an appointment. He is, listen, if by any standard, if you've been listening to this man for the past hour, you know that my daddy has got it down. Apostle Jason has got it down. Okay, very quickly, let me go on. There was a question from the comment section that touched on financial issues. I think it was Tsehofatso Kwanaite. She asked specifically about the prenuptial and in community of property. So in South Africa, there is the types of marriages that you can go into. You can go into a civil marriage. You can go into a customary marriage. So those two, obviously, and a religious marriage. Civil marriages are easily categorized, and I'll go into those categories just now. Customary marriages previously were not recognized, but there is now legislation that covers how customary marriages will be taken. It's very important that if you intend to marry out of community of property, you make sure that you enter into an antenuptial contract before you pay the lobola. So be very careful that when you're going to negotiate, if your intention was that you're not going to combine your assets, do not go into lobola negotiations and conclude before you have discussed the antenuptial contract, how it's going to be. Let me go into the civil marriages, for example. So civil marriages, obviously, you know, you have in community of property and out of community of property. Out of community of property needs to be broken down a little bit. In community means that whatever you had, whatever I have, comes back together. We are all one. Whether you were a plumber, whether you came in as a billionaire and the plumbing salary comes in together, becomes one thing, whatever assets you have. If you decide to break up, you share everything together. So you cannot say, who do you think you are? Do you know what I have? Do you know what I came into the marriage with? At that point, it does not matter. Out of community of property, you have an antenuptial contract which you will conclude before a lawyer. And again, I think I've got one of my colleagues also who's going to come up on the comments. She will put up her details if you want help with an antenuptial contract. Her name is Grace Lekwaba, and if you need her numbers, we'll also put them up, but you will have to conclude what we call an antenuptial contract. Now, the antenuptial contract is split into two. You can either have a marriage out of community of property with accrual or without accrual. With accrual basically means we come together, whatever I had before we entered into the marriage, and whatever you had, you know, belongs to each of us individually. But after the marriage, whatever accrues, whatever we accumulate, if we start a business, if we buy the house together, whatever we buy together from that point becomes joined. We both own it. Without accrual, a marriage out of community of property without accrual means we just came in for the love. Okay. We don't share anything. Whatever you came in, whatever you get, whatever salary increase you get, whatever pension you get, whatever household that you own, it belongs to you till death do you part. If you die, you would have to have concluded a will or something so that you can dictate how your property that you had before, what you accumulated, should be disposed of. And I want to pause here when it comes to out of community of property, because I know it's something that a lot of people, especially Christians, want to shy away from, right? A lot of Christians want to shy away from out of community because they feel that if I raise it, you will think or she will think that I don't love him or I don't love her. But I want you to consider, because if you are business people, there's a lot of reasons people go into an out of community arrangement. It's not to say I'm scared that you will divorce me and you will take everything away from me. For people who are both business people, for example, or you are both hustlers, you must understand, if you are in South Africa, and I believe in a lot of jurisdictions around the world, if you are having a business and your business goes into debt, and maybe you get liquidated or you become insolvent, what's going to happen is that when they come for your business and they don't find assets to settle whatever debts of the business, they come on whatever you have as a personal individual, especially if you have managed your things recklessly, so to speak. So to protect the family assets, so that you make sure that your wife and your children are continuously provided for, that is why you would consider an antenuptial contract that captures an out of community of property arrangement, okay? So you be open about it, discuss with your pastor when you are doing the premarital counseling and say, look, this is how we manage our finances, and we would like some kind of insight or some legal counseling, premarital legal counseling that can help us package our marriage so that we are able to make sure that at least the kids are provided for. If we're going to go into taking risks, maybe you are a forex trader and you get into whatever type of risk, you want to make sure that the children are always provided for. That is why you will find a lawyer that will advise you and say, maybe consider doing a trust, registering a trust that will take care of the family and the children. So basically you register something like a company, and all your assets, maybe you both have an income every month, you put in the money into the trust, and the trust will be there to always make sure that your children will always be taken care of. Very important trust, especially if you're going to remarry in the future, or the spouse dies. You want to make sure there's continuity, the children are always provided for. And remember, when you get to the point where you want to divorce, remember not to be bitter. Don't be bitter and prejudice the children. The children have nothing to do with this thing. Don't be bitter and want to hold off on things, and you suddenly don't want to maintain the children. And maintenance is both sides. It's both male and female. It's not only for one side when you are in South Africa. I think, Apostle, maybe you can touch on this point and tell us, how is marriage approached in terms of, especially when there's dissolution in Nigeria, for example. I think it's a bit different how the children are looked after, I believe. Do you have some comment on that?
Yeah, honestly, in 1 minute, because of our time, Nigeria, in fact, I even see their judiciary also work as if they are influenced by their culture or tradition. Most of the things they do, most of the judgments, if I don't know if I'm selling out my country or what here, but there is that influence. There is that influence from the culture. Automatically, it's believed or known to say that children are the seed of the man. So no matter what happens, if the mother wants to go or the father wants to throw away the mother, tomorrow, it's believed that these children belongs to their father's house, not their mother's house. As a matter of fact, the woman has been married into this father's house. She has been taken from her mother's house, so this is like her home now. So it's being sent back home to her mother's house. The children have to stay because it's the seeds that were gotten, from that relationship. That's that.
Wow, I think there's a break in communication there, Apostle. Okay, I think we've got a break from Apostle. Maybe while he's
it's not necessarily the law. Every family, every home and that I am. Oh, somebody was calling my
Somebody was trying to call you, and we actually lost a bit of what you were communicating. So I think if you can repeat what you said in the last 30 seconds. Maybe
calls
that
are coming in. That's why.
Yeah, please don't call Apostle, call me. That's the only way I can get you on the communication if you want to ask a question live.
Yeah, I was saying that that somehow our culture influence our decisions, even in the judiciary, so it's believed that this woman is married into this new home. So whatever that comes from her or through her as children, those seeds are inheritance of this family now that she has come. They believe, okay, she have repaid her bride price by bringing those seeds in the house. So whatever that happens tomorrow, the children still stay with their father. Still, they know, it's at the back of their mind. Even if they are very young and they are taken by their mother for any reason, as soon as they are growing up small, they will run by themselves. They will run by themselves back to their father's house because other kids will make life unbearable for them. That's just the truth. They'll be referred to bastard. Who is your father? Where is your father? And all of those things. So yeah, it's quite different. It's just quite different from what we see in South Africa. Yes, there.
Okay.
Hello.
Awesome. Yes. I've got Grace Lekwaba. She is an attorney of the High Court in South Africa. And there was a point that I was discussing earlier around the trust issues. Grace, can you maybe share with the viewers and the listeners about how they can go about creating a trust? And what would you recommend for couples who are going to get married out of a community of property? You are live already.
Pastor Fortune, you know what? Unfortunately, your line is not clear. You are breaking up. I don't know why.
Oh, I'm so sorry. And now, can you hear me? We can hear you very clearly. So,
Yes, I can hear you now.
okay, awesome. So if you can proceed, we do hear you now.
Come again?
You can proceed on the trust issues.
All right, thank you so much for this opportunity. Pastor Fortune, I usually encourage my clients to do trust instead of will. Because remember, the advantage of the trust is that you can buy a house, you can buy a property, you can buy a car with a trust. The good thing about it is that at the end of the day, that house, it will belong to the family. That property that you bought, it will belong to the family. That car that you bought, it will belong to the family. Unlike the car, when you buy a car in your name, should you divorce, obviously it's your car. It will be affected. But when you bought everything in the name of the trust, it cannot be affected by whether you got married in community of property or out of community of property. It will never ever be part of the joint estate.
Awesome, awesome. And what would your advice be for people who are intending to cohabit? And what are the pros and cons that you would maybe like to share with the viewers in terms of cohabitation?
Well, regarding the issue of cohabitation in Africa, I think it's a very difficult subject because our African men, they believe it's a norm to have a side chick. Legally, we cannot say it is illegal because you cannot sue a person for being in that kind of a relationship. It's up to an individual to decide whether he or she stays in that marriage or not.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, on my comments, I'm still waiting for the comments and questions while we still have Grace online. I am also posting her number so that you can WhatsApp her and make an appointment to discuss any of the issues that we have raised. We have spoken about the different types of marriages. Maybe Grace also touch on the issues of customary law. What is the position concerning customary law in South Africa?
Or in South Africa, remember, if you get married in terms of customary law now, automatically it will be considered as a marriage in community of property. If you don't have any intention to get married in terms of get married in community of property, you need to stay away from customary marriage because in South Africa currently is a marriage in community of property. And remember, if you want to, the fact that you did not go to Home Affairs to sign, it doesn't mean that your marriage is not recognized. You will need to go to court if you want to get out of that marriage out of community, a marriage in terms of customary. You need to approach High Court to dissolve that marriage. We consider it as a marriage in community of property. It needs to be dissolved. You cannot just walk away and say, I didn't marry that person. I only paid lobola. We celebrated. That was it. We didn't go to Home Affairs. We are going to run after you immediately after you have accumulated enough. We will come back and say, we want to dissolve this customary marriage. And my client will be entitled to 50% of whatever you have acquired.
Wow, that is very powerful. I like the point that you're saying, and I think a lot of people don't know this. If you married in terms of customary law, that means only lobola was paid for you. You still need to dissolve the marriage, and you need to be very careful that you don't find yourself in a polygamous marriage because you think I just paid lobola for that lady and then I just left the marriage. You are actually still married to that person and you're considered to be married in community of property in South Africa. So if you're going to pay lobola for another lady, you're actually now having wife number 2. So very important to take note of. Just before I let go of Grace, is there anybody who's got any questions, any legal questions?
Maybe to add on that, Pastor
Yes, ma'am.
Fortune, maybe to add on that,
Yes,
you
ma'am.
spoke about the person who just left the first marriage where he was married in terms of customary law. You know what is happening? The second wife is not recognized.
In terms of
Remember, for you, in terms
for
of
the courts,
customary
yeah.
law, yes, in terms of customary law, you need to get a permission from the previous wife that you are taking the second wife. But
Okay,
now
so for
that
customary
you
side.
decided to, yes, now that you decided to leave this first woman just because you are not married in community of property with him, or you did not take her to Home Affairs, that second marriage, we do not recognize it.
Uh-huh.
So
But
people, they need to be very careful.
From a biblical point of view, I think Apostle Jason, what scenario do we find ourselves in that scenario? Are we now in a polygamous marriage? What is the Bible saying? Apostle?
Yeah, actually, you see, the word of God is not totally against the law as per se. What she's saying makes sense, because if you're really going to walk out of one relationship into another maritally, you must carefully and consciously dissolve the previous one, to know that all ties has been cut. Bible says, write a bill of divorce. Bible encouraged that in the days of Moses, to write the bill of divorce. So today might not be writing yet, do the necessary thing, go to Home Affairs, go to court, get this paper and that, and go to the family and all of them, make sure that it's dissolved. It can be hanging. We've stopped a lot of people even from dating, not even getting married in church, because they are still connected. Just what she's saying, they are still connected, to some previous, relationship and marriage. And I'm like, okay, this is like a polygamy or whatever. You're dating somebody that will marry you, but you are still tied with somebody, and sometimes children are involved. I've encountered this not one, not twice, severally, so you need to cut the ties completely and be free, so that you can move on. It's not something you do by feeling and just jump out and jump in. No, it doesn't work that way. Not even in the church. God does not approve that as well. It's indecency, whether it's culturally or spiritually wise, it's indecency. So maturity and wisdom demands that you end the things, you close a chapter so that you are free, spiritually, legally, and traditionally. Nothing will come out to bite you, later on. Yeah, I think that's where we stand on that.
Thank you so much, Apostle. Thank you so much, Grace, for tuning in and for that advice. We'll definitely be in touch. I am sharing on the comment section. I think also on top of the broadcast, we will also put the details of Lekwaba attorneys that you can reach out to. Thank you so much, Ma.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night. God bless. So we will be putting up information with regards to Grace, how you can reach out to her. She will be able to assist you with any legal matter that you need. Just let her know that you came through the broadcast, and whatever it is that you need. She's an expert also on motor vehicle accident claims. So all those rough things, you're welcome to contact her. But as I say, from today's broadcast, basically, you can also reach out to her if you want an antenuptial contract before you go do your lobola issues and all those things, whatever advice that you need. And she will be able to give you a hearing. I'm just looking at the comments to see what else came through. I think there was a question earlier about somebody who says, how do you prepare? I'm assuming because there was no more extra information on that question, how do you prepare for marriage? I think don't skip the premarital counseling. And for that, Apostle AC Jason is going to also share his contact details, which we will put up also on the broadcast. But if somebody is there from City of Dynamite, please continue to share in the comments so that people can pick it up. You will have to go for premarital counseling, which I strongly advise. The foundation of marriage being from a biblical point of view, I don't think you are wise if you try to ignore it. And please reach out to Grace. If you need any relationship coaching or life coaching, you're welcome to inbox me as well. And if you missed out on any of the questions, do share, do come to my inbox and just let me know. Thank you so much. We've come really to the end of time. This week, we are really trying to keep to the time. And you know, when I'm working with Apostle, I have to be orderly. He said to me, Fortune, we have to be on time because I'm preaching the following day. So I've really given you time to ask questions. I'm just checking again. Okay, so the viewers, Grace says, very, very important. Do mention where you got her contact from. Very important, because that will make sure you get fresh preference and priority and, you know, some special treatment. So when you WhatsApp, say you came from Pastor Fortune's broadcast and this is what you need, please make sure that you share that. Okay, so there's a call from the United States. Let me see. My story. Smangi, you are live on the broadcast. Can you hear me? Oh, sorry, hang on. Let me just make sure that I send you to the mixer. I just want to make sure that the sound comes out from there. Okay. Hi, we've got Smangi from Los Angeles. You're welcome to ask a question, Ma.
Yes, I have a question for Man of God. I have a question. If the parents agree to somebody to marry their daughter through home affairs, and then later on the husband is like, you know what, I want to pay lobola, and the parents of the lady says, oh, it's okay, we don't want any lobola, as long as we can take care of our daughter, that's what we want. So according to custom or culture, is it all right? That's my question, that is it a must the lobola should be paid as the husband wants to pay, but the parents are like, no, we don't need lobola, take care of our daughter, we bless your marriage.
Apostle.
Okay, being an African too, I think you are not asking a spiritual question, it's much of a cultural question, you know, but I will answer. That's why I said being an African too. My understanding about lobola is more of the family blessing to their daughter. The issue of paying lobola is a family blessing to their daughter. So whatever the parents of the girl say stands, as long as they give their blessing, you know, as long as they give their blessing. I remember one of my sisters getting married, you know, I'm here in South Africa, he's getting married in Nigeria. My brother called me, you know, how much are we charging this? I said, charge what? What are you talking about? I was selling a goat or a television, you know, set, you know, I said, please give them your blessing. My blessing is given already. That's all I said. I said, my blessing is given already because our biological father is no more, so we are not the father. I said, my blessing is given already. And they are happily married till today. You know, so money is not necessarily lobola. Lobola is that is a covenant, you know, of the family of this girl, blessing their daughter, releasing her to go join another family. So the terms and the condition is solely dependent on the girl's family. Solely dependent. So whatever they say goes. You know, it's solely dependent on the girl's family. You know, some families, it becomes an opportunity for them to build a house. It's an opportunity for them to own a car they never owned all their lifetime. It's an opportunity for them to send the siblings of the girl to school, you know, when somebody comes to marry somebody from the family. So, so at the end of the day, it's no more lobola. It's now a trade by barter, you know. So I think it's more of a consent. That's why in my speech I said, without a legal or family consent, you know, it's now a devaluation, you know, to cohabit. But if the family say, go ahead, you know, you should go ahead. Moreover, we believe that marital relationship is a double, it's not a one way, it's a double lane road. We keep going and keep coming. We keep going and keep coming. In my culture, they say your in-laws are your family again. They're also your family, you know, so I can run into my in-laws' house and pass a night. I wouldn't be a stranger. I will not be looking for a bed. We can share bed with any person. So it's more of a blessing than the money we are paying. God bless you.
Thank you so much. Smangi, I believe you are answered. If you still have a follow-up, you can also make a comment. I don't have any calls coming in now, so I believe everybody is covered. If you have any further questions legally, Grace Lekwaba attorneys 084-596-6024, 084-596-6024. My WhatsApp 081-574-72. Okay, I'll put it up. But you can also call me on 082-327-8638. 082-327-8638. Apostle Jason's appointment 064-375-1880. Thank you so much, viewers, for tuning in. I hope that you have been taking notes. You have been, I mean, there was just so much wisdom that was just flowing. And I'm trying to recap here. So many nuggets were shared. Don't choose by version, choose by vision. That one really stood out for me. Plan for the marriage, not the wedding. So don't just go ahead and focus on the marriage day. After we've eaten the cookies and all the meat, we are out. Remember that. Ask questions until there is nothing else left to ask. Ask even the stupidest question. When last were you home? Is it a person that really loves to be with their parents or something like that? That will be telltale signs of whether this person can be actually a good family person. Be honest. There's a message, I think, Master Spangi from the LA says, thank you, Apostle. Be honest and open before saying, yes, I do. Be honest about everything. Share whether you had an abortion, or share whether you've been in a rape, whether your womb has been taken out, because these things have a way of catching up. There are spiritual implications as well. So we really need to look at that. Don't marry because of a better life, that you're trying to escape poverty. Don't look at that person as your ticket out, because what happens if they lose their job even? You know what I mean? And don't marry sugar mommies and sugar daddies. This one was like deep, Apostle. Look for honey, not for sugar.
Give the sugar to babies. Give the sugar to babies.
Give the sugar to the babies, not the honey.
We need
honey.
honey.
For.
No, don't give honey. Give sugar to babies. We are for honey.
Okay. The real man is for the honey. Honey. Don't seek to be loved because of what you brought into the relationship. Okay. So don't think that you can buy people, especially if you let me not go deep. Apostle, cover it. Don't seek to be loved because you think I've brought something in. This is what I've been doing for this person. Don't buy. You can't buy love. Okay. But yeah, I don't know, Apostle, but I think money can buy some few things. Cohabitation without legal or family blessing or family consent is a devaluation. Now, come on, somebody. Who can come up with such a thing except Apostle Jason? Cohabitation without family or legal consent is devaluation. Do not devalue yourself. If you came in late, geez, you need to go back and listen to this thing again. So don't devalue yourself. Don't go cohabit. Don't relax in marriage. Oh, this is deep. Ladies, do not relax in marriage. He touched on this point. He said, smell good, look good, repackage yourself, rewrap yourself, make sure you are looking boom. Slay also in the marriage. Don't stop slaying before the marriage only, and then after you got the ring, after you get the baby, you let yourself loose. Stop wearing escamel at night. Stop wearing ngusha, you know, those pantyhose to hold whatever hairstyle that you've got on. The husband must not turn around on the bed and find a ghost sleeping next to them. Come on, man, work on yourself, repackage yourself. Don't enter into marriage as a full glass of water. Go in halfway, all right? And don't fight your marriage. Fight for your marriage. Fight for your marriage. Don't allow your ex to run your present marriage. So whether you're coming from a divorce or a breakup or anything, don't let your ex as an individual or even as an experience to run and control your marriage. Don't empower shadows to run your present marriage. My God. Apostle, we need you back again. Such wisdom. Thank you so much. I am a dynamite. I can never go down. Honestly, you cannot get into contact with Apostle Jason and remain the same. City of Dynamite, he is the senior pastor of City of Dynamite worldwide. His social media handle is Jason Anuka. Make sure you follow him. Make sure you listen to his message. This man is corrosively, explosively, I don't know what. you will learn a lot of grammar just from listening to him as well. Thank you so much, guys. Please let us know in the comments whether you were blessed by this message. Thank you so much for the family, the Fortune L Ministries people. Thank you so much. I saw you, Mpo. I saw you, Vespa. I saw you, Lynette. Thank you so much. I love you guys. Thank you so much. God bless you. Apostle, thank you so much. Keep the comments coming up. We are listening to them. Thank you so much. We will meet next week, 7 o'clock, no longer 8 o'clock, because we want to make sure that you get to bed on time. And the next week's announcement will be announced on my page as well as on my timeline. Thank you so much. God bless you.
God bless you too.
Raise up a sound of expectation. God, do the impossible. God, do the impossible. God, do the impossible. It's where you specialize. Do the impossible. Somebody right where you are. Raise up a sound of expectation. Raise up a worship of expectation. Move by your spirit, Lord. Move by your spirit, Lord. Do miracles. Do miracles. Do miracles. We've been waiting on you. Hey, shake us, God. Shift us, God. Oh, we're expecting miracles. Hey, if you believe he can do the impossible, raise up a sound that says, God, do what you do. God, do what you do. We've been waiting. We've been waiting. We've been waiting. Move how you want to move. Yeah. So take that faith and let's declare this in this room. Come on, say all things are possible. Right here, right now, you say, are possible.